it's okay to post if it's on your side, but if it's a dissent, so.
Yeah, I get taken down too, so we're even. One and one.
We're even. So he met with the HOA lawyers the other day. You know what happened? You guys hear what's happened?
I'm recording, just so you know.
They had a big long meeting with the HOA. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, don't hack into my account anymore. I'd appreciate it.
Oh, you're accusing me of hacking into your account?
No, I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying somebody.
Believe me, I don't have the computer savvy to hack into anybody's account, John.
Somebody. I know it boggles the mind. It really does. It's supposed to be a neighborly blog. Has turned into an ugly, hateful, slanderous.
It was interesting. The person that wrote had very much the same writing style as you. Move on already. Volunteer hours. Busting our butt.
You know, I saw that.
Sounds very much like you.
Probably somebody who's afraid to post under their own name, because when you post under your own name, they know what's going to happen. I'm the only one that has posted any dissent under my name, and I've been slandered and libeled. So that's what my guess is. That's probably what happened. Somebody wanted to post and hacked into my account. They created an account. So that's what it's come to. It's too bad because it's really become a laughing stock. Did you have a good turnout?
Yeah, we had about 40 people. Yeah. 40? Yeah.
Judy, why are you taping?
I asked her to. I don't know yet.
It's
I don't know
news.
what's going to happen.
It's news.
Everything. All right, good luck to you guys.
All right, thank you.
You know, I really think that, you know, I think that the HOA is coming around and people are saying that maybe change is good. But I mean, the hatefulness and the attacks and the hacking next door, if that could stop, I think that would go a long way.
That's the least of our worries. We got a guy that's got a 25-year contract that's going to continue to rip us off if we don't get him out. He's threatening the homeowners. He's threatening the board. We have no means to get him out. He's taking our money. We're very upset. It's not going to be civil. It's going to get ugly.
I hear you. I mean, do you think I wanted to pay the $600?
That's nothing. We don't need a guy that's taking all of our money. We have no reserve fund, which is required by law. I don't know why you guys didn't have one.
Well, because
basically you just signed the checks over to him. We got nothing. You just here's everything's cool. Here's the money. Just don't. Nobody's being bothered. Rates are low.
Hey, I'm not defending anybody, but for 25 years he fixed stuff.
I fixed stuff too.
What, the valve?
I was making $1 million of
right.
$1
The valve?
million $400,000.
And that was a point of dissension. Right? He did
The
not
valve?
fix the valve.
Oh,
The valve was known about. They were filing that they were in compliance since what year, Judy?
2012.
Yeah.
2012. They were signing off that they were in compliance. Then all of a sudden, it's an emergency. They're signing off every year. They're releasing the water.
Before I'm on the board, so I have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
Talking about. So I mean,
I asked Leo McHale to get the attorney to sign a statement saying it was an emergency assessment. Nothing happened. You know why? Because it wasn't an emergency.
to get what?
To get a statement saying the valve repair was an emergency assessment. They never did it because the attorney, there's no way you could say it's an emergency assessment if you had it in minutes in 2007. You were signing off since 2012 that you're in compliance. How could it possibly be construed as an emergency?
I can only assume because if it weren't done, then there would be no compliance with Fish and Game, with Corps of Engineers. Tremendous pressure, Dennis. If you were on the board in late 2016, early 2017, you would have seen from that frivolous complaint that was filed, that was later thrown out, the pressure that was brought to bear. I mean, you should have been there. It was just phone calls daily from this agency, this guy in Sacramento, this guy in downtown LA, this water guy. I mean, it was nuts. So if that's not an emergency, I don't know what is. But I mean, we're rehashing old ground. I think what we need to do is go forward and talk about new management. And I agree, but you know, it's going to be up to the board to find a solution.
board did.
The board came by.
Our board came by. Smith, no, of course not.
Joe Smith.
No, he won't.
Well, they had a powwow, I think Tuesday or Wednesday. But I'm not next door to defend Davis Smith. I mean, what I'm on next door for, before I'm taken down a Reformed Act, is to say what a ridiculous thing. You have a volunteer board, family people just like Baroni and everybody else in Denapple. They're working long hours. And I'm still waiting to find out the information, the proof that there's some kind of fiduciary or some kind of financial malfeasance. I mean, it's been 6 months and there's been nothing. So
Actually, there is.
So suffice to say that there's nothing with this previous board. That
He
you
even
have.
said he used our liquor license. He said it in a secret meeting.
Yeah, he should have done that. He used it for an event. I think he had an event that he transported liquor. So yeah, I mean that's no, but I'm talking about Judy. I'm talking about the 5 volunteer members of the board. Like we stole money, like we falsified year-end audit statements.
But we're not kicking you
No,
guys
that's
out.
the implication. That's the
We're
charge.
kicking Smith
I don't
out.
think so.
Okay, I agree, and I just said.
So I just said
I
he
just said-
admitted to using our liquor license. That alone is a federal offense.
So why is all the
So
attack
why is he
been
staying?
on the previous board though? I mean,
No, do our signs say you guys?
Good, thank you.
Our signs say
And we can
Smith.
move on. Yeah, I agree.
So we're just saying Smith go.
Well, let's see what he does. I mean,
He should go.
ball's in his court.
And he admitted, yeah, I used your liquor license for a charity event. You know what the charity event was? It was in San Francisco, the Olympic Club.
Shouldn't have done that.
Nope.
I think he admits that.
And they've been, no, he didn't admit that. He said it was a funeral.
Oh no, he's admitted that. Okay.
But the Olympic Club has sent us the invoice already. And they also say that Burns was there, Dennis Burns,
Yeah.
and he was at the event. Smith and Burns are both at the event.
And I think a lot of the membership still to this day doesn't understand how the dots are connected. Now you can pay a management company, let's say 20 cents on the dollar to run the place, and then you take 80 cents and you save it, you reserve it, you fix the pipes, you fix the solar, you fix the sprinklers. Or you can do what the deal was with Smith, you can give him 96 cents on the dollar and he does all the repairs, which he did for 25 years. He did not do the gate valve. I get it. It was terrible. We all had to pay. So, but what I'm saying is for 25 years, there's your reserve. He brought a club that was in shambles. Were you guys here in 94, 95?
But let's just go to today. He needs to give our money back and leave. And his biggest mistake was that he took our money.
Well, I mean,
That was kind of the biggest one because it woke everyone up.
yeah. By the way, I mean, if you're planning on airing this or anything, you do not have my permission. So
I'm not.
any kind of posting on social media, on Facebook, you will be sued.
Oh, well, join the club because they're suing everyone.
So I mean, I'm glad to talk to you, Judy, and
That's fine.
Yeah, so, but I mean,
That's fine.
so while you're recording, I don't know, but
Well, I like to. That's why I got the camera. That's why I got an iPhone. I'm allowed to use it.
so I wish he would have at least chipped in half. Of the
It's in his
$300,000
contract to
fare.
take care of it. You know that.
Well,
And I know you guys say you amended it,
no, it is in his contract,
except for dredging.
except for dredging issues. Exactly. That's why we. It's
not a dredging issue. It's a valve.
But here's why it is, Judy. And let me explain. And please don't get your knickers in a bunch.
You know what? I don't wear knickers,
The
and they're
valve-
never
The
bunched.
gate valve was under about 3 feet of silt. It was not dredged. So when they dredged in 2013,
It's true. It wasn't dredged.
and that's probably a bad dredging job.
No, it wasn't dredged. It's not a real dredge.
We dredged in 2013 with $1 million that we saved.
It
We
wasn't a
reserved
dredge.
$1 million
John,
to
don't call
dredge.
it a dredge. When you look up a
What do you
dredge,
think we did? In
it
2013?
wasn't a dredge.
Judy, they pulled out 8,000 million
John,
cubic feet of dirt.
It
and put in the
wasn't a
golf course.
dredge.
What do you call it? What do you call it?
Moving dirt, but that's not a technical dredge.
Oh, please. They dredged the
Okay.
bottom of the lake and they pulled the silt out and they built the whole 2 waterways in the.
If you look up a dredge, that wasn't a dredge. But I won't get into that.
Well, what do you call it when you have to?
I'm not going to get into it.
The lake is
John, I'm not
4
going
feet
there.
deep, and we had to get 2
John,
more feet,
it's
so we
about
had to
David
dredge the
Smith.
lake. Okay, so anyway, we dredge it with our money.
We're not doing a dredge. We're not talking about dredge. We're talking about David Smith. So, all he has to do
But you have to
is
but
go.
You have to. I agree. You have to talk
That's
about
it.
these things. When you talk about David Smith, you have to talk about these things, though.
You know
and
why?
he paid and why he didn't pay.
Because
and
they're all connected to our money, and we all know it. And there's tons of paperwork, tons of it out there. Our board isn't the only one who has the papers. Our members have the papers.
What papers? What,
All the paperwork.
of what?
Everything.
Oh, yeah, there's minutes. I know. That's why there's tons of minutes.
Beyond minutes. So, you know, all those papers that were taken out of the office have been shared to the members.
Yeah. I know.
I don't know what he's thinking.
Well, if I were in his shoes and I felt this kind of opposition, I wouldn't want to hang around.
I wouldn't
think
either.
it's nuts.
Because the
He's-
members aren't
Well,
leaving.
He's also a businessman, so I mean, he's got a contract.
A contract that he's breached, and he's been told goodbye. So,
So what you're saying is it worked for 25 years and we have a great facility.
no, we don't have a great facility. The members are not happy.
What aren't they happy about? That they
The
can't
facility.
Swim, they can't swim in every
No.
lane of the pool. That we have
They're
some
not
swim
happy they've
lessons.
been ripped off, and they're not happy that
Sometimes
they're
there's
not
lessons
seeing the
on tennis
books.
court. You can't play in every court because we have to
Nope.
make money.
No, no.
That the lake
They're
will
not
actually, it's
happy
really
that they
good
didn't
right
have a
now.
reserve study for 11 years. They're not happy that their dues were raised without a reserve study for 11 years. They're not happy that they didn't have an audit. They're
And
not happy that they didn't see the
They paid
books.
an annual increase in dues for $4. over
No, they don't
25
care if they were given a penny increase. They didn't have the books opened. They
Books have
didn't
always
have a
been open, Judy.
reserve
That's a
study.
flat out lie. Books have been open. Financial statements have gone out every December. There's never been
Those
any
financial statements
malfeasance
are
by the
not a
previous
reserve
board.
study. They're not a reserve study.
Well,
And we're entitled to one every 3 years. The last one was 2001. Where's our reserve study?
what's the reserve study going to tell you?
The health of the club.
Right?
And it's mandatory. It's legal. We need to have one every 3 years. And the board could not have raised our dues either without a reserve study. You have to do one as an HOA. You have
Well,
to.
I know that's yeah, and it's also.
I'm not saying you
it's also
personally.
not-
I'm
yeah,
saying a
thank you,
board.
Thank you. And it's also
A
not legal
board.
to not pay him per contract. So they withheld money, and I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Well, that's up to them.
Yeah.
It's not legal, but he's also in breach. So maybe they're not paying a
He's
person
in breach
who's in
because he used
breach.
a liquor license once, or what
Well,
else
that's
is
a
in breach?
federal offense. So yeah, that's a big problem. That's not even an HOA problem. That's a federal
Right.
problem.
Right. Well, changing locks on his leased property. Is
He has a
also
key.
A criminal. That's a criminal act, also.
He has a key. So how is he kept out?
I thought you were trying to change the locks.
Maybe it broke. He has a key.
Maybe-
I don't know. It's like you were
you
hacked,
wouldn't
right?
lie. Come on, don't lie to me.
Well, you were hacked, right?
Yeah.
That's what you
it's
say. Well,
It's not a lie. Okay, so you're saying
I don't know. I wasn't there.
two wrongs make a right.
I wasn't saying anything is wrong. I was saying he has a key. That's what I'm saying. He has a key, right?
All I'm saying, if somebody has my address and they can get any
Well, we're
kind
getting
of-
way off
and
David
they
about
can get
you.
any kind of like phone bill or something.
You know
it's,
what?
It's easy to put
It's
a new name.
not about
I can
you.
put a new name on your
John,
on your
it's
address.
never about you.
Well, it is about me, Judy.
No,
When
it's
you-
about David Smith.
when
Read the
people insult
signs.
me- Okay, so I'm moving past it. And I
Yes,
just
let's
wanna
go
s-
past
I
you.
want to say my piece and get it off my chest.
I don't care. It's about
Because-
David Smith. It's not about you. You're not on the board. It's about David
Well,
Smith.
but it has been about the board because every time I posted it as well, you did this, you didn't do that.
Okay, let's get off you.
Stole.
Okay, John,
books
you're a
are
member.
crooked. Okay, so
John.
I never said that.
I just want
John, you're a member now. You're being sued, okay, by your past president.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that should be fun. All right, so let's just agree.
that it's David Smith. This
not
is
to-
about
and,
Smith.
and not to attack the previous board, okay?
No, I
You know,
can't agree
talk
to
Bonnie
that.
Smith. Bonnie Smith, she's been down there for 20 years. I was on for 5 years, and I'm.
It's
slamming-
not
I'm
about
liable.
you.
Okay.
You'd
Okay.
have to check the lawsuit that's being put to the members. Are you a member?
He's,
Yes.
yeah, Terry Smith
Okay.
is sued over non-payment of a contract. I mean,
Exactly. And he's also suing for no reserve study. Well, last I
Suing
checked,
for no reserves.
yes, you'd have to read it. No reserve study. Guess what? This board did a reserve study. Guess what board didn't? Terry Smith, John Loesing,
Terry Smith.
Leo,
I don't
or
know.
Terry Miller.
Terry
Oh, it's one and the same.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my bad.
You made your point.
Okay. Okay, so this board did a reserve study. How are they going to sue on the no reserve
Davis
study?
Smith was the reserve study. By contract, he fixed stuff for 25 years, okay?
That's not a reserve study, though. And you know what? If he did fix stuff for 25 years, right? Like he was supposed to.
So you get no credit for that.
How, okay. Oh, what does he need? A band behind him and whistles? Is
Okay.
he of that small an ego that we have to clap? We give him money.
Yeah, I agree.
That's enough. So, all right. So if he fixed everything, right? Then our reserve study should have come back and said we were A-okay because he did such a spectacular job. He got paid, he fixed
Okay,
everything.
let's move forward. Maybe that's where the new reserve study will show.
It should. It should say like,
The problem-
you guys
the
are
problem we
doing
have going
awesome.
forward- let's talk about going forward, though. And
Yeah.
We're on the same page. We're getting somewhere.
Right.
The problem we have going forward, though, Judy, and I'm not saying it's not time for a change, but what I'm saying is you have to be really careful because you bring in a new management company and suddenly there's a $1,000 per home special assessment to get to $400,000.
I don't think we're gonna get
fix
one.
the sewer line that's going to break.
I think we'll look at the old management company who fixed everything with our money since 1994, right?
Are you going to sue David Smith for back?
Well, I'm not a
Back
genie. I don't have a
wages.
crystal ball.
I mean-
But when we get the reserve study, I think we did get one. And then we have something to compare from 2001
That's fine.
to now. This will be an actual mathematical equation to see how did we do.
Right, but you know the math is going to show that we're going to get hit hard. Now, okay, so
You know what it'll
going
show though?
forward,
Performance.
It's gonna show
It'll
we're gonna-
show
we're gonna get
management
hard.
performance.
And all I'm saying, I'm not defending or citing or anything. I'm just saying if things stayed with the new board and David Smith going forward, they reach an agreement.
It-
they shook
it
hands.
shouldn't.
Well, no, just let me finish.
Go ahead.
You're not going to have a $1,000 per home special assessment, which I guarantee you'll have probably within a year to meet reserve requirement because he's got a sewer line he's getting ready to replace. He's got sprinklers in the golf. He's got $200,000 repairs he's going to do.
He's getting ready to replace.
Yes, exactly.
How did he know it was broken?
Judy, he runs a place. The guy makes golf courses for a living. He knows everything that goes wrong here. He knows when we have a
How
sewer.
would he know that it's
What do you
ready to
mean?
go if he never had a reserve study done?
Oh, please, because it was installed when he did it in 1998, and typically they last 20 years, and so now we've reached that 2-decade cusp where
So he
lines are
just
going to...
knew.
Things wear out. It's called depreciation. So he
Yeah.
knows he's getting ready for these major expenses and on his dime, and he knows that because he's said that.
It's not his dime. We pay him. Do you know that?
Okay, our dime. But
Yes, thank you.
But he's going
Our
to fix
dime.
it. But we don't have to pay a special assessment. We don't have to pay more money to have him do it. He will do it. Okay, so what I'm saying is that...
So if we keep
he
him, he's
knows
gonna
he-
fix that.
He installed...
That's the deal.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he said. If we keep him, he'll fix it, and if we don't, it breaks.
If that's well, he already did one major sewer line right there in the parking lot. He's got more coming. He's got golf course sprinkler issues, and yeah, those will be fixed. Now, did he do the gate valve? No. I wish he'd have chipped in at least half because we were at loggerheads who had so much pressure from agencies to get this thing signed off, and the only way to do that was to put a gate valve in so we could release the water. We ended up having to pay for it. Should he have paid some or all?
All.
Probably. Okay, I agree.
Because it doesn't say, there's no amendment to the contract that says everything but dredging and gate valve.
He's a slick mofo. He did it under dredging, and we did dredge the lake. You can use semantics.
Yeah, whatever,
But he
yeah.
attached that because the gate valve, the intake, was so silted out that when we got down there, okay, so we're gonna satisfy the agencies. The way to do it is to open the gate, release the water, but we can't do that because it's silted under, so we have to clean that out. So it's not me, it's the homeowners. And that was his line of thinking.
All right, but check this out.
That's his
You're
logic.
saying after the dredge, after whatever you want to call it, after 2013 when it was dredged, he could have fixed the valve then when the silt was removed. That would have given him access
Probably, yeah.
to the valve.
Yeah.
So he could have fixed the valve after you remove all that silt.
Well, you know, and I'm perfectly honest with you, and there's been conversation publicly by the previous board, and I mean, I'm on 5 years, and in those 5 years, maybe 2 or 3 times, somebody may have said, well, we have this valve down there. We don't really need it. We're not really what it was for, because at the time there was no release knowledge, or nobody was knowing about
But there
whatever.
was.
Well, whatever.
You can't say whatever, because the water board
So what
came
I'm
here
saying
and
is-
said, I need a 30-day
Right.
30-day report of what you guys are going to do.
Well,
because
we never saw it, so again. I mean,
How can you say you never saw it?
I never saw any report like that, Judy. Don't tell me I did.
2007.
Nobody put a piece of paper that said you have
Okay,
to fix
you
the gate
didn't,
valve.
but Terry did, Bonnie did, Leo did.
No, because in our conversations, there was never any compelling
Okay,
demand
John,
from
I'll
an
cut
agency.
you out of it because you weren't on the board then, but Leo was on
Judy.
the board. Bonnie, I'm cutting you out of it. You weren't on the board.
Well, I never saw any demand,
You might
written
not have.
requirement, so I mean, if
But
there was, then I didn't
The
see it.
water board was here and said a 30-day action plan has to be written and turned in to the water board. Terry was on the board, Bonnie, Leo, and I don't know the other guy. I don't know him. And it needs to be turned into the water board about getting the valve. And it even said it barely opens if at all. So it lists the state and the condition of the valve.
So let's move on and
No, that's the thing. You guys always moved on.
Okay.
And GPL signed off on it. So they even knew.
Good. I hope he's going.
Okay,
As to your transparency issue,
so pick up the slack. Help us.
Why? How is it transparent that Bonnie wasn't allowed to vote to withhold payment?
That's got nothing to do with
It's
what
good.
we're talking about Smith.
Well, we're talking about transparency. And
No,
again,
we weren't. We were talking about
Well, I
Smith.
am, because it goes back to
That's
next
a
door.
whole nother
I'm
thing.
being accused of not being transparent.
It's
No,
about you again.
I signed off
It's
on
about
HOA
you again.
financials every year. I signed off
It's
on.
not about you, John. This is not about you. There's so many members, and Smith needs to go.
Okay, no, okay, Judy, I think we're there. But okay, can you
Then
promise?
help us.
Okay, can you promise me that from
I
this
can't
point
promise
forward?
anything.
Okay, because you can't speak for the crazies who are
I
going to
can't
say.
speak for anyone but me,
But Judy, who's going to say? Somebody with the next week's going to say,
John. I
you weren't
can't
transparent. You didn't do this. The old board did it. The old board stole.
John,
The old board. The old board.
I can only speak what
the
I
old board finagled the
find.
books. The old board. So.
I can only speak what I see written on paper with people's names on it.
Yeah.
And that's all I ever speak on. When I see something and people's names are on it or their signatures, that's all I ever speak on. If someone's written something and they've signed it, I will speak on that. I don't ever speak
Well,
on
we need to know what
hearsay.
happened on Wednesday because they met. I'm hoping.
Well, hopefully
Cooler
he'll
heads
say,
prevail.
you know what? I messed up. It's time for me to go. The neighborhood doesn't want me. It's time for me to move
Well,
on to a different
I agree
place.
with you there. Yeah, if somebody does not like me that much, I don't know. Either that or he's so tied to the almighty dollar.
We don't make anything, he says. Remember? Like we're such a poor
It's a
club.
lost leader. It's a write-off. I mean, you don't know that yet.
Well, let him write it off. Let him go
does.
somewhere else and write it
He
off.
writes it off on GPI, Golf Projects International, and that's how he's been able to really spend more than he's made. And everybody says, really, he's putting
Okay.
money out of his own pocket. And
Let
it's
him
because
do
of the write-off.
that.
It's the write-off ability he has.
Let him do that, but the members are going to get so restless that eventually they're just going to say, you know what?
Yeah.
IRS, check him out. Because we're tired of it. Go find out if it's true. Go check him out.
Well, we'll see what happens. This is one for the lawyers at this point. I mean,
What he
he's
needs to
good.
do is go, because the longer this goes, the people are just like,
Yeah. And what are you prepared for if he says no?
they're going to
He
keep, the
doesn't have to.
members are going to get more angry and more bothered. The street, every time you go down the street, you can't even walk down the street anymore without people like going, is he gone yet? Is he gone yet? Like, they're just,
Well, yeah, I know it's not a pretty thing. I mean, I've lived here 10 years, I was on the board for 5, and I've never seen this place drag through the mud, and at a low point, we are the laughing stock. And
It
it's sad.
doesn't matter if they laugh,
Yeah.
because when he's gone, the neighborhood can repair.
Yeah.
But with him here, they're just going to keep getting louder and louder, and because we have 459 members who, okay, I'll take like 6 or 8 out that want them. Maybe 10. I don't know. Maybe 20 who want them. There's
Well,
still a lot.
Yeah, you're right. But maybe 10 owners, but they represent probably 60 homes. That's not 10 owners, 10 homes. You
All right, so
understand
take 60 off
that?
459.
It's small potatoes.
There's still a lot of people who are trying to say,
Yeah.
and there's one now. There's just still a lot of people, and we're not the only people who are talking. Agencies already know.
All the agencies, we've been on that radar for a long time. In fact, the Corps of Engineers is still waiting on a final action plan for diversion, which hasn't been signed off. David's not going to do it.
Well,
It's ugly. I agree, Judy. I mean, I'm not
David
happy.
has sent a thing to divert water. You know how everyone says it was so fake and all that?
Said what?
He sent a little, an application to divert water to the...
He got permission to divert water to the ponds.
to the ponds.
Yeah, it was legal, and the complaint by Uman and everybody else was against it, and it was thrown out. I mean, so the whole thing, David needing to go aside, the whole complaint, and the gate valve, everything is a house of cards because the initial complaint.
How is it a house of
Because
cards?
the initial complaint was thrown out. And so, but it opened up a can of worms, and maybe the
But people
purge-
think that he wasn't diverting.
people think that
That he wasn't diverting.
he wasn't diverting.
People think.
Jan Weber's upset because they thought he was diverting water
Right.
from the lake into the ponds, which
Right.
commissions do.
Right. But people think he wasn't diverting water. They think that, no, he wasn't diverting water.
So why is that a good thing?
No, they think that he wasn't diverting water from the creek into the pond.
Right. Okay, some people think that, some people don't. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, did you guys think he was diverting water, or that it was found?
We knew he was diverting, you could see it.
Well, he has permission to. It's
Yeah,
water,
that's
it's
fine.
riparian rights.
I wasn't
Yeah.
worried about that.
Dennis, just do me a favor.
I can't do anyone
We'll post on
favors.
Nextdoor. Say we had a nice conversation. Moving
I
forward.
am not.
So you're not going to post on Nextdoor ever again. Is that what you're saying?
No, I
I'm just
am
saying-
not posting
I'm not, because I get
anything that we had a good conversation. I am only posting about the protest today.
Good. Okay. That's
You were not you did not protest with us.
That's your prerogative.
Yes, thank you. I'm only protesting about the Smith protest.
Yeah. And so, does this mean that Judy White's going to say John Loesing didn't protest? He's guilty.
No, I'm not going
and
to.
he's gonna-
I'm not posting anything, John.
All right,
it's
thank
not about you. Nothing,
Well, I wish you could have said that for 4
John.
months in a
It's
row,
not
because-
about you,
Well, it was, Judy, because every time
John.
every
Get
time I-
over yourself,
every time I gave a balanced comment, it
John.
was about me.
John. When
can
you
you say that?
posted, it was about you.
Exactly. That's my point. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
This
saying. I was
is
attacked.
not about you today.
When you posted, did you attack Judy? No. So when I posted, I
John,
got,
did I actually go against you on posts? No.
it's called.
No.
all right,
You
let's-
didn't see me going, John, you're anything. No.
all right,
If you notice, I don't.
Let's just honor the First Amendment going forward. I don't plan to post, but maybe I will. And at that
John,
point,
I don't post about you.
okay, thank you.
I post about the business of the HOA and our
Appreciate it.
club.
I appreciate it.
I don't. Because I post about our board business. I don't really name names. If you notice, if you actually read my stuff, I talk about facts.
And I do too. And that's the problem we have is
Be
that,
careful with your facts, though, John.
Judy, you need to be careful with your facts too. Okay, so let's agree to disagree on that one.
No, I don't agree
Well,
to
then-
disagree
then
with people.
then
That
I
is
don't
such
agree
an
either.
overused sentence. It is a really overused sentence.
That-
I mean, my niece uses that.
there-
Let's agree to disagree.
That there is no, where's the paperwork? From
No,
the
I don't
county
agree with most
That
people.
the previous board has somehow been guilty of financial impropriety. Where's this
People
paperwork?
have that.
Oh, bullshit, Judy, come on, show it to me.
People have it.
Did what? Did what? Did I change number? Did I take the balance sheet and say, no, let's cheat and let's, come on. Judy, come on. That's one thing you're wrong on. I never went in and changed numbers and adjusted income and expenses and said, David, let's cheat. Please, I'm a family
John.
guy, just like you and Chris and everybody.
John, you're elaborating. Now you're telling, I just said people have, but listen to what I said exactly. People have paperwork on things that were not legal.
Okay, I have paperwork
Okay.
that the current board has broken contracts and they've criminal destruction of property. So I mean, come on. That's what I'm saying. Let's move forward. Let's get rid of David Smith. It's probably the only
Then
solution.
pick up a sign and help
I
it.
will
Help
pick up
the
a sign
cause.
and I'll put it in Dennis's truck so you can say that I did it.
Thank you for helping.
Shake my hand.
Thank you for helping.
You are
Cindy Bankler.
Cindy. Nice to meet you. All right, maybe this is the beginning of something good.
If you help get out David, that is helpful.
I have no, how? I have no,
And then I would actually say that,
I
John,
have no authority.
because that's a fact.
I have no power.
I would only say that you do have power. As a member, you can pick up a sign and support the members. You are a paying member,
Well,
correct?
you know what I can do? I can also choose to remain neutral, and that's what I'm choosing. And here's why.
You
Because
do have that right.
You know, I see the history, and I see how far this. I remember the late '90s. This place was a pit. Now, here's the thing.
Don't tell me he saved us, because I
Well,
heard that
he
from
did rebuild it, okay, and the
Yeah, well, that was then, and this is now. And so, like you said, let's move forward. So let's stay present and current. We're not in the 90s.
Dennis, you ought to be careful on when does Smith leave. I mean, do you ever think that might be?
Present and current.
President.
Present and current.
See you guys later. Good luck.
Bye. Remember to support your new board. Remember to support the new board.
I've had conversations with Chris. We actually get along. We have productive conversations. I think he's a good leader. I mean,
Okay,
but
that's all. Short and sweet. Short and sweet. All right. My poor son. I'm like, I'll be home in 10 minutes.